Bipolar Rollers, welcome back. Let's talk today about community. Let's do that. To be quite honest, I was really hoping the Bipolar Rollers would become its own community, and at one point it was. Then I decided to kind of slack off on these videos, not do them as much. Life happens. A lot of stuff's going on. Very busy man. And I get a lot of emails from you guys, and they're really interesting, but some of the subject matter has been pretty dark. And some of the things you guys have had to say, I can understand. You wouldn't want to be, for me to go public with it in a video. So I want to thank you guys for reaching out to that. The email is going to be provided in the comment, or not the comments, but the notes in the video there, and I want you to feel free to use that if you need to reach out. I do offer my services to individual counseling. Not a counselor, not a psychiatrist, not a medical practitioner. What I am is someone afflicted with bipolar disorder who has gone through the rigmarole when it comes to medications, therapists, and life challenges. And I've discovered that the body is an amazing thing, and with the right care, treatment, and a plan, you can avoid getting caught in the pharmaceutical industry escalator or revolving door, if you will. The temporary relief but long-term destruction of your body through the use of chemicals. And if you're a bipolar roller, you've discovered that this is not only a curse but a gift as well, and it's time you harness your superpower. That is a community in its own right. There is a portion of the community that believes that they're happiest not taking their medication, and we all know some of those people. They are a hot mess. The reality is they weren't ready. They didn't have a plan. They just felt better after taking the medication and decided, I don't need it anymore, as if there's a cure for bipolar. Now, if there is, please reach out to me. I don't think so, but maybe you know something I don't. But as of yet, we don't have a cure for bipolar. But we have lots of ways to manage it, to create that healthy balance. I would be the last person to tell you I have that mastered. It's an ongoing life mission, but it's a noble mission, and that mission is to not introduce into my body things that don't belong there. And as a former drug addict, I've broken that rule plenty of times, but some of us learn our lessons, and the lesson I learned is the mind is a terrible thing to play with and to take advice from people who are literally just tossing darts at a dartboard hoping something sticks. They don't know for sure. The brain is still a mystery. So why experiment with it? You only get this one life right now. So don't ruin your brain. Give it a chance at least by following some of the advice that I offer in these videos and doing your own research on ways you can naturally alleviate some of the stressors from your condition. So now that I've gone into what a bipolar roller is, that is a community. And I think it's really important that you find yourself a community. The thing is, none of us are getting out alive. And while we're here in this life, whether you're spiritual, religious, follower of Christ, Buddha, whatever, we depend on each other. We are here on this physical plane, and our value that we have as people, individuals, we are supposed to share that with others. Relationships on this physical plane are one of the most important things of this life. How you interact with others. If you are in this physical plane and you live a hermit life and you never interact with anybody, would anyone even know you were alive? What benefit did you get from this life other than meeting your needs, your basic needs? But one of the major needs that all humans require is the interaction with others, the feedback, the support, you grow, you learn from each other, you evolve together. A community can offer those things. It's extremely beneficial. Now, I've tried to join a lot of communities before. I'm sure if you have bipolar, you've probably joined a few Facebook bipolar groups or other platforms. And that is a mixed bag. Sometimes you're able to really contribute to somebody's life. There are lots of people who pose interesting questions or questions that make you go, I've been there. I know what they're feeling. And you could offer your advice, your support. Now, that's a double-edged sword, because I see in a lot of those groups, anybody who's willing to take the chance to try a natural route in dealing with this condition is often shamed by the chemical dependency group. The ones who believe that without medication, you will surely die and take a bunch of people with you. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that those people are in the community. I empathize with them because that's what they've been taught. They probably had a doctor fearmonger them, or they went off medication, didn't have a plan, and made a mess of their life. And now they're convinced that they need a pill to make them human again. Yeah, human as in never being able to, have an orgasm, or flatlining maybe, feeling nothing really, getting off of it and wanting to end your life, or having to take more and more of it as time goes on because it no longer has the same effect on you. The list of side effects is horrendous, and a lot of them you don't ever come back from. They don't tell you that, do they? Do your research. It's scary what some of these medications will do to you. So it's a worthwhile venture to see if you're one of the lucky ones that can get by without medication, providing you have a plan, a therapist, exercise, eating right, nutrients, vitamins, meditation, highly recommended. Nature, so important. Get yourself a pet if you can too. Having a sentient being that depends on you tends to make you a little more responsible, and fills your life full of such joy, because there's nothing like an animal in its purest instinctual form it just tickles your heart, you know what I mean? Like, so many little special moments throughout the day when you have a beautiful little creature that depends on you. Like this guy, right, Atticus? Yeah. So the reality is that communities are tough to find, good communities. But don't stop looking, because you need other people. You can't do this alone. And how will you know how well you're doing? And how will you know how badly you're doing? You need people around you. It's good to have safety, I call them safety markers. Somebody around you who will be brutally honest with you and tell you when things are getting bad, or praise you when things are going good. So, bottom line, it's important as someone with bipolar to find yourself a good community. And when you find one that complements your needs, gives you good advice, and has people in it that benefit from your advice as well, because we all learn from each other, then you hold on to that community with all you got. Because the reality is, again, none of us are getting out alive, and we need each other. And with that, I'm going to leave you. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I plan to enjoy it. So, as always, my bipolar rollers represent.